Welcome back, everyone, to the Big Game Breakdown. We're live from the Ocean Springs School District headquarters, and we're getting ready for Week 7 as the Greyhounds head into regional play. I'm your host, Seneca Hampton, and as always, I'm joined by Coach Bramlett. Coach, it's that time of the year. Region play is here, and we're heading on the road to face the diberville Warriors. What's your take on this matchup?
Yeah, they're a really good football team. They're improved from last year. Defensively, they got some new guys over there. A couple quality move-ins. Linebacker core is really solid. They're older. They're big. They're long. They're physical. Defensive front, is just a typical diberville type of defensive front that really comes off the ball, tries to create penetration in gaps, just kind of messes up your run scheme. And then at the DB position, some newer faces out there, some younger faces. A guy that plays a little quarterback and cornerback. The Wally kid is, the third of the three Wally boys. All those guys are really good and really talented. Just a very football talented family. And they DBs, they haven't been really tested this year. Most teams they played have been pretty run heavy teams. They haven't been tested vertically, but
and
they are good athletes.
Against Gaucher.
Yeah, and then it was raining against Gaucher, the one team that was going to test them throwing the ball. So they're a very, very good team, much improved from last year. Look forward to the matchup. I mean, start out region play with those guys. It's a game that people in Ocean Springs always look forward to. I know people in diberville really looking forward to the game, and especially being at their place and getting a chance to get back from the last 3 years.
Most definitely, man. Diberville. I'll be glad when they start renovating their stadium because they have a huge crowd, they have a huge following, and people like the Ocean Springs Nation, like they travel. Yeah. And this is going to have to be one of them games where they're going to have standing room only. Just like it was
3 years ago.
Yeah, when Trey went in there and did his thing.
Yeah, that's which is the last time I've been over there. Our last two games have been at our place just because of the reclassifying new districts and everything. So they had to come to us for the last 2 years. But, I do look to them to do the kind of same thing that Ocean Springs did with their stadium. That had the same concrete home set up and then a lot of room on the away side. So, I would expect in the future they build a new home side and just kind of mimic what we got going on over here.
So, absolutely. The Warriors have been known by their hard-nosed football style for this year, and this season is no different. What do you think is the key to matching that up, physicality on Friday nights?
It's always been the defensive front controlling the line of scrimmage, not always creating penetration in between the guards, and then your defensive ends and linebackers are walk down the edge, really hold and contain out there and making sure we force everything back inside. And then, we also have our calls where we're trying to bounce things, spill things to the sideline and let your safeties make plays. So being good on the defensive side of the ball up front is key, and then your DBs, their eye discipline being just like picking. They're going to get you every now and again, or try to get you every now and again with a throw down field, and they really like to attack vertically more so than Picayune does. They throw the ball a little bit more, and especially last week with Wally playing quarterback, really threw the ball in the second quarter. Expect them to, build off of that, do some different things with that. You'll see them getting a traditional, a more modern offense every now and again with him back there, getting a little 2x2 in the shotgun. Yeah. So, had some success with it last week against Wayne County, so I expect some different wrinkles there.
Most definitely. Coach, we're coming off a bye week, which gave us a chance to rest up and refocus. Mm-hmm. How do you think the team has responded during the break?
It's been really good, man. The first week, last week, there's a lot of focus on Ocean Springs, focus on things we need to focus on, finishing 4 quarters like we talked about last week. Talking to the team about you've been up at the end of the third quarter of every game but one. You've been winning every game at halftime except for one. Yeah. You got to learn to finish. You got to learn to finish that fourth quarter and learn how to willingly win those football games. I'm going to will myself to win this ball game. Right. And, you miss that, and some of your senior leaders that went out last year is they had the will to win. They're going to find a way to win ball games. So it's learning how to do those things with the guys we got right now. And then you come back into this week being the fall break and, you're going into mornings. Right. Participation's always high with these guys. They're at practice. Yeah. They don't miss. They're not late. And you had a great week working on diberville this week. Got your upcoming freshmen. They're getting ready for their championship game that's coming up Monday. They're practicing with us during the off week because everybody's out of school. We can all go at the same time, so your numbers get better. You get a little more competition at some spots, and then our guys trying to help the ninth grade get better and win their championship on Monday, and then and they all become varsity players next Tuesday. So it's about to become one big team at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there that Monday night, man.
Yeah.
I got to see this happen. They ain't won ninth grade since I guess Sharroid Whitehead
it was the
won.
last one, 1 year off, and then right back in it.
Let's get it, man. Diberville is no easy team to go up against on the road.
Yep.
What do you think are the biggest challenges we'll face with their style of play? Because they're very physical, they're very tough, they're very grit. They're they embody their coach's mentality. You know, I played against him in high school, and if you know Josh Ladner, you know that's what that team embodied, their identity. With their style of play, like what would you think?
I mean, you survived the early emotional buzzsaw of going over to their place. They're gonna have, I mean, probably their first 10 offensive plays scripted out, things they feel really good about it. They get the ball first. It's putting them behind the chains early. And put them behind chains early, get the ball back and score first on offense. Or if you start out on offense, score quick and try to get the ball back immediately. It's score early, score often, and try to build that halftime lead and really take the wind out of their sails, because they are going to be they're going to be ready to play at their place. They want to play in front of their crowd. They want to prove their worth to their people, and that's the emotional side of the game that always starts out in the first quarter. And once you weather that storm, it's who's got the best plan, who's going to execute the best plan past that. So early in the game, to survive that emotional buzzsaw of them coming out fired up, ready to play. They're going to be in some new uniforms that they got and all this good stuff. So that's it's going on the road in big games and region play. It's stuff that you like to play in, at the highest level of Mississippi high school ball, and things that a lot of the coaches on our staff are used to. I mean, it was when you're up in Region 2 and Region 3 for the most part of your coaching career, your region play is like that every week. It's either people come to you or you're going somewhere that's got a great crowd and they're a really good football team, and that's where Region 4 is starting to get now. We talked about it in the years past of the entire coast striving to get better in order to make our push deeper into the playoffs, and it takes 4 or 5 different programs getting to that point, so the competition level is up. You're getting quality play during the region, and then you're able to win some playoff games and get two to three teams, coast teams, that are making a push to the second round. And Diberville's called up. They're doing that too. They're there. They're ready to play. They're ready to beat some people. They're ready to knock some people off that they're not supposed to technically. And then Biloxi's coming along. St. Martin, Harrison Central. All those guys are playing good football right now.
They wide open.
Yeah, and
starting out.
It's what you should love to do as a player, and what I like to do as a coach. You're going to go into a great atmosphere. You're going to play a good football team. You're going to be tested. We've been tested 4 times this year. It's the time to come out on the right end of a test.
Y'all had a tumultuous, tough non-region season to start it out with. But if you're a real football guy and you understand what that means y'all battle tested. Y'all gonna be ready. So I'm looking forward to 7A, and I see why, because 7A is not the pushover 7A it was in the last couple of years. Everybody went and got the stuff together. They're making a push for that. While the Greyhounds, y'all been on y'all's for the last 20 years. People starting to catch up now.
They are.
And that means they've been watching.
That's right. Well, I mean, it's part of our schedule too, and people are getting better in our region, and our region's going to get tougher every year. But the way that we scheduled, we've seen everything that you could about possibly see this year. We've seen the best of the best in the old school offenses in Picayune. You've seen the best of the spread running gun teams in Oak Grove, the man coverage teams in Oak Grove, the defensive powerhouses in Madison Central, and the control the ball type of game they like to play. Northwest is a tempo team usually, and they roll some tempo, and they're
scrappy.
Very scrappy defense that moves a lot on the front end. You get a lot of slant and a lot of stunting, and I mean we've seen it all. So, Natch has got a quarterback that can run just as good as any quarterback I've seen in the state. Good. I mean, he's a player, and our defense has been battle tested. Our offense has seen the best this state has to offer in their different aspects, and we're ready to go in region play.
And from also, what you forgot to mention is the strong run game that Diberville is definitely something to watch. It's going to be a battle in the trenches for sure. What do you think is the X factor for us in this game? What's going to put the Greyhounds over the top?
Stopping number 6. You stop number 6. Number 6 is
Crosby.
Crosby. He's a really good running back. They have 3 good running backs.
Yes,
I mean, it's not just one elite guy. They got 3 really good ones. But Crosby's a favorite target for them, whether it's from a play calling aspect or what the quarterback's looking for downfield in the pass game. You know, you're watching Wayne County. He gets a lot of the totes, and then they threw the ball, I think, 9 times while I was sitting in the bleachers, and 8 of them were to him. Yeah. So, you know, they like to go to him, whether it's player-driven or coach-driven. It's just he's a favorite target for them to get the football to. So you stop number 6. You control yourself with not getting marked off on penalties and put them behind the chains. And that's, you know, first down's crucial against teams like that. It's stop them for 2nd and 10, make it 2nd and 12, whatever the case is. Get them all scheduled, make them do something that they don't like doing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. I know you got, you know, you're very meticulous with how you do things. So everybody just got to go to the game to find out.
Yeah, that's
see
right.
at 7 o'clock what you got playing.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're going to do our stuff. We're always going to do our thing. It's just what's it going to look like when it's happening? Where's it coming from? But we're going to we'll run our offense. We run our defense. It's just changing up the look to it. Make you adjust to the look. See if you prepared that way or not, or if you've prepared for something new that we're going to show you. I mean, we're going to have a new wrinkle for somebody every game. We'll see, you know, how they handle it.
Look forward to it. I see diberville threw a wrinkle in last week when they put Wiley at quarterback. So I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to look like going forward. And that's a good look for them.
Yeah, it really is, and he's a good player. And as soon as he ran out there at quarterback, you know, you kind of figured it was coming at some point, just didn't know when, or you know, didn't know if he was ready because they hadn't shown it yet. And they showed it last week, and he looked really good doing it. I mean, it's not just as a runner, as a thrower too. He throws the ball really well and is very accurate with it.
Anybody on defense that you just stick out to you that we should keep an eye out on?
Yeah, Zero's a really good player, outside linebacker. I think he came from Moss Point, and you know, he's a good-looking player. He plays the game hard. He's always getting around the ball. I mean, he makes a lot of tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He's a long kid, and they like sending number 9, one of the inside linebackers, on a lot of their pressures. Yeah. And he does a good job getting to the quarterback. You know, it's not always playing inside linebackers just about the run game. He is really good at getting after the passer. So, you know,
TJ Jasper.
Yeah, look to him to be in the backfield a lot, or trying to get into the backfield, and then the Wally kid will be at corner. Yeah. You know, just a good all-around player.
So, athletes all over, man. Y'all kind of match equally in my eyes. I think y'all kind of...
Yeah, it's two teams doing different things, but the athlete to athlete looks a lot the same. Yeah. And, you know, they got a new defense coordinator over there, so they're still based now have an odd front, but the look's a little bit different. Yeah. It's not the exact same stuff they were doing last year. They're not as stationary. They move around. They're multiple. They show you some different looks. So, you know, it'd be a good test for our offense as well.
And the defense coordinator, he's familiar with your play style, him coming from St. Martin.
Yeah.
So,
he's got an idea. He's played against us coached against us several times, you know, at different places. So he knows kind of what to expect. I mean, he was at St. Martin when Bray was here, and then he was at Biloxi last year whenever Dabo was here. So, I mean, he's seen us doing different things with different people. I'd imagine they'd have a really good plan for us.
That's most definitely, Coach. All right, Coach, I appreciate you for sitting down talking about this Week 7 preview of the diberville and Greyhound game. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with our student spotlight, player spotlight this week. Yeah. I think we got one of your
Sharroid Whitehead.
Sharroid Whitehead.
He can be a headache sometimes, but he's good most of the time.
That's the kid that got all the national attention, man, and always like. How is that? Like before we bring him, what is it like having to deal with, you know, a player that has a lot of national attention and getting he brings a lot of attention to your program?
Yeah, I mean, you know, well, one, it's good for the program. I mean, you get schools or coaches or, you know, just media outlet coming to watch him, and different kids get exposure for it, and you know,
and he shares it. He don't mind.
No, that's a great thing about it. And, you know, the exposure for the whole program and the other athletes on the team is a great thing. And then, you know, I've seen it before with a couple of kids, and it's all about how the individual handles it. If they handle it well, it can be a great thing for them and for your program. If they handle it poorly, it can be something that kind of it breaks you up or breaks down an individual. And he's handled it really well. There's been no issues with it, you know. But we do have some people coming in, you know, wanting to give interviews with him or interviews with other people on the offense that are associated with him on a lot of plays. So I mean, it's a lot of lot of outside media attention for some of the other guys on the team that maybe they wouldn't normally get. Right. And I think it's been a really good thing, and he's handled it really well. Yeah. So it's as long as a player, individual, whoever's handling that spotlight and that attention well, I mean, it can be a really good thing. It's been a great thing for us.
Everybody wants Chop, man. They got a whole another year and a half of this, man. We're looking forward to it. Yeah. But we're gonna take that break and we'll be right back. All right, Greyhound Nation, it's time to welcome a very special guest to the Big Game Breakdown tonight. He's a 4-star athlete and a key player for the Greyhounds, and someone who's made a big impact since he's been living in Ocean Springs his whole life. After overcoming the injury that sidelined him during his sophomore year, he's back with a vengeance and tearing up 7A football. Please welcome Sharroid Whitehead. How you doing tonight, Neff?
Oh, I'm doing good.
I'm glad to hear. Glad to have you here, Sharroid. Let's get right into it. You have had quite the journey. The last year you were dealing with a tough injury that kept you off the field. How was that to sit there and watch all your teammates play and not being able to play your sophomore year?
It was hard for the first half of it, not really for the whole time, because my best friend had pretty much the same thing happen to him. Yeah. And I was there for him, and then with me telling him to keep his head up, when I get in the same situation, it's like, why can't I keep my head up? So it was only tough for the first half. Then I had him with me, and then I was still trying to get better. Yeah. I came to pretty much all the summer practices and stuff like that. So it was just something to overcome. Yeah. It was just something to overcome.
I remember when you made it back earlier than expected. Nobody expected you to come back as early as you did, and you came back to Gulfport game. No.
The Iberville game. I came back a year ago.
That was the Iberville game. It was
a year ago.
Last year, a year ago, yeah. So, opening kickoff, 90 yards. Had you been in shape, that was 6.
Yeah, for sure.
That was been 6, sure. Man. What went through your mind? Were you even breathing?
Nah, I was too excited.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. Like, I caught it. Well, I couldn't see because I can't see for real. And I couldn't see the ball, so I kind of like muffled it. Yeah. And then I was just high knees, took it right up the middle. Yeah. And then I got up, I was just screaming. Yeah. I was just so excited.
Yeah, I remember watching. That was a good feel good feeling, man. Now you're back and you're dominating this season. And how has it felt to get back in the groove of things and be Chop?
Feels like I'm back to normal, It feels like I'm just back doing what I've been doing my whole life and, doing it with the guys I love, doing it with the city I love, the city I've been with my whole life. And it just feels like I'm getting back to normal, getting back to the groove.
You can definitely see the work paying off that you've been putting in. You have been a standout on both sides of the ball this year. We've seen you get in at defense, at cornerback or safety. And you just been everywhere but offensive lineman on offense, man. You have been tearing it up in 7A, and that's caught the attention of some big-time programs across the country. Can you talk about your recruiting process and how that's been going for you?
It's been going good. It's just been a blessing. Yeah. Ever since I think I was in 8th grade. It was 8th grade spring, and then Coach Brennan called me and said he wanted me to do the spring with varsity. So I did that, and then he had told me, because I didn't really play much. I was doing it for the experience, and he had told me, you're going to get some calls. Just stay in the program, stay grinding and all that. And then it came. I think it was my freshman year. He pulled me out of class. He was on the phone with Penn State, and then that was my first offer. Then they've been with me the whole time, you know. So it's just been a blessing, and then it's just all about the process.
Yeah, I remember when you texted. I thought you was playing. I was like, just something that it didn't register with me.
I thought Coach was playing with
me. I was just like, wait a minute. And then I had to read it again, and I looked, and I was like, whoa, you just got all the Penn State, man. That was big, man, big time. So without giving too much away, are there any schools that have really stood out to you so far in the recruiting process? We know you originally committed to Tennessee, but you decommitted. So have any other schools stood out for you?
Penn State, Florida State, and Tennessee, really. Yeah. Those are
you did say you was keeping the Vols in consideration when you decommitted.
Because they offered me while I was injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
They offered me while I was injured, so that really stood out to me.
They did. I didn't even think of that. They did. Sound like, you got a big-time decision coming up. Let's talk about your season. Coming off an injury is never easy, but you've been able to bounce back stronger than ever. How did you approach your recovery, and what's been driving you this season?
I approached my recovery just like a man would. I had to grow up fast when I had that injury, so I approached that like really a man. And then for the season, it was just like we have to show everybody what we're about, you know, because with me being under Bray, I always wanted to be like Bray, you know. So every little kid watching the Greyhound game wanted to be like Bray. So it's just, what can I do to be like Bray? Yeah. Every time I was at the field with William Smith Sr., Bray was at the field, and then he had a tight relationship with Coach Bramlett, and you know I had to get my relationship right with Coach Bramlett. So it's just attack it like the greats did, you know.
Yeah, you're definitely proving that, no doubt. What do you think has been the key to your success this season? Is it something physical, mental, or a combination of both?
Combination of both, really. Combination of both. Knowing the offense, you know, not just being satisfied with something, you know, and just playing your role. Like I'll probably say that's been one of my problems, like, because, you know, I've always been the guy on one of my teams, and then now that I got guys around me, just learn how to play my role quickly.
We can see that fire in the way you play. Like, you play with so much passion and emotion for a person with little words. Like, you don't really say much. You just let your actions do the talk for you. But what's the one thing you're focusing on as we're heading into region play in the second half of the season, the real part of the season?
Prove everybody wrong. Everybody count us out. You know, everybody count the whole program out. And then we know we got in there. We know what we got to do. You know, it's just proving literally everyone wrong. And we got to tell them to stay on that side. You know?
Y'all had the toughest schedule on Coach Football per match stats. And it showed. Like y'all had a tough schedule this year. Like, you went up against some juggernauts this year. And like Madison Central, who was the second team?
Oak
Grove, And I ain't even gonna leave out Pascagoula because y'all played them also in the spring, the Jamboree. Northwest Rankin, Natchez, Picayune. Like, that's a gauntlet schedule, man.
It is.
You know, and you're here, and now you're ready to approach it. How you feel? How are you feeling mentally going into this?
Mentally, it's hard to explain because you got so many emotions going into this, like with you being 1-5, and then with you knowing what you have, it's like it's so much going on. You really just have to stay calm through the storm, you know, because we know this game we have is not going to be easy. You know, any game is not going to be easy, but we got to be calm during the storm.
And you know, I know y'all looking at the 1-5 thing. In my opinion, y'all actually 0-0.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like, it's Friday is when it starts. I'm looking forward to that. Are you planning on going to the Thursday night game to see Biloxi and Gulfport play?
Yes, sir.
So you out there scouting, or you going to check on some friends?
You got to scout.
You got to scout. Them, y'all play them like I think like coming up, right? I love it. Well, Sharroid, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We can't wait to see what you do the rest of the season, and good luck with the recruiting process. We know you got a bright future ahead. We know we probably gonna bring you back next week to talk about the game or so, whatever. It ain't no telling, you know, because something special gonna happen. We know, and looking forward to it. But keep doing what you're doing, and it's been a pleasure watching you growing from little young Sharroid all the way up to Big Chop now, you know. Mr. 4-star, man. Appreciate you now.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, Greyhound Nation, I'm excited to bring on our next guest. He's someone who works behind the scene to keep the whole community connected with that's happening in Ocean Springs School District. Please welcome Trey Brennan, the Communication Director of Ocean Springs School District. Trey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm proud, man. Glad to have you.
I feel like I made it now.
Stop it, man. You've been on the show since day one, man. That's who does our graphics for us that we post every week, so he's a big part of the show just as much as Coach Bramlett and the players that come on here. Trey, glad to have you. So, Trey, you got a big job making sure that the entire district and the community stay informed, especially with all the events going on. How do you manage communication for such a busy and active district like Ocean Springs?
With the help of a lot of great coaches, principals, and teachers, because without them, I wouldn't know which way's up and which way's down, because there's so much going on, and our students are so talented here. There's always something to talk about, you know, whether it's in the academics, the arts, you know, or the athletics. And so thankfully I have a lot of support, and they do a great job of keeping me informed and so I can help try to keep the community informed and promote what our students and staff are doing.
Most definitely, man. You've done an excellent job with
Thank
that.
you, I appreciate it.
I see Ocean Spring School updates everywhere, from social media, newsletters, of course, my kids go to the school district here, so like you see all the emails that go out. And I know as a creator and a graphic designer, I know your
Which one's mine?
Yeah, I can tell what you've done.
That's awesome.
So I be like, I'm like, dang, he doing everything, man. So what the tools and strategies are you using to ensure the district stay connected with everyone? Like how do you manage to keep everybody's stuff separate and different?
So we like to put the tools in the hands of our schools themselves, because they're the ones that are there every day. They know the kids, they know the parents, and they know they know the most about their school, and so they all do a great job of updating their information, like their newsletters and their websites and things like that, and. I just try to keep Google Calendar is my best friend. I try to keep everything in my calendar, including this. I've got this in my calendar, and because I live and die by it. So that's kind of giving them the tools they need to be able to showcase everything is probably what's been most important, and hopefully we're doing a good job with that.
Most definitely, y'all are. And with football season, as exciting as this one is, I'm sure you've been extra busy. What's it been like working with the athletic department and keeping the community engaged during Greyhound football season?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, because it's kind of topical right now, is I had to give up my fall break because athletics has something every night this week. Our students and staff are out, and but not our student athletes. Between volleyball playoffs and football, both middle school tonight and high school football and things like that. We stay very busy, but it's a good reason to be busy. So it's not as bad.
You all in?
That's right, we all in.
You've done a great job at building that excitement for sure. Now, outside of football, what's something you're particularly proud of when it comes to the district's communication efforts?
I would say being more consistent about our branding, how we look and how we sound, our voice has been something that's very important to me. You mentioned, you can always tell which graphics I've made, and that's something that's kind of important to me, like having a distinct, unique look and feel that when you see it, that's Ocean Springs School District. Whether it's standardizing our logo here, that's people call me the logo police, and Jake's laughing off camera because he knows he's been on the receiving end of Jake. That logo's upside down. What are you doing? That's been a huge thing for me, and that's something that there's always room for improvement. Right. So that's always been my big thing, and and it's a long road, but having the buy-in from everybody has been great, and we're heading down the right track.
Most definitely, man. And that's so important, especially in a district as active as this one. So looking forward, what's next for communication at Ocean Springs School District? Any new initiatives or projects you're excited about? Yeah,
so I've got some things in the works. I don't want to say too much, but there might at some point be a mobile app in our future. To help keep parents connected there, where they can get the news and things like that that's happening in their child's school or district, and somewhere where we could post final scores for games and things like that, as well as questions about different things where you can communicate with teachers and things like that. It's a little bit ways off, but it's a big project that I'm kind of working on, and we're in the very beginning process of it. But that's something I'd like to see here in the next few years.
That's awesome, man. Making everything beneficial.
Yep.
And that's what we do.
And all in one place.
Yeah, I like it. Like I say, my kids go to the school district, and I love it. I just fell in love with it. I like how the community it comes together, and it's a little private, small community. It's small and private, but it speaks big volumes.
Absolutely.
Being the #1 school district in the state, that's
2 years in a row.
That's a big flex.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge.
Big flex, man. So that's that's great to all the students and the faculty and staff, everybody. That's huge. I'm proud that my kids get to be a part of that. But that's all. So Trey, you're doing incredible work, and we can't wait to see what's next for the district. Are there anything else that you would like to let anyone know while you have this time?
Let's go get a win Friday night.
Yeah,
beat Diberville.
Got to get Diberville.
Like you guys said earlier, we're 0-0. It all starts this week.
This is a new one here. One more question. All right, with the school being an Under Armour school, like y'all are official Under Armour school. Like y'all didn't just go to a person and be like, hey, we want to wear your uniforms. Like they choose Ocean Springs Athletics in the school district. That is big key because they also put their money where their mouth is by helping with the branding and media. I don't think a lot of schools got that, and I don't think they understand the ramification of how important that is into that. So when are we going to start seeing more Ocean Springs and Under Armour logos, apparel, and all these things?
Well, hopefully very soon. I just this morning was talking with our rep, getting some banners and stuff like that approved to go in our high school gym, because if you've been there, you know that it's very plain. And so we're looking forward to getting some color and some branding on the walls with the help of BSN and Under Armour. You know, that's something I'm kind of a nerd about, is you know, doing things like that. So that's definitely something we're going to keep working towards. It's a very expensive thing to do, which is probably why it hadn't been done at this point. But with their help and with a good plan in place, that's going to be something in the next couple of years people will start noticing.
It's going to be major.
Oh yes,
I foresee the future is going to be major, man. And I think a lot more schools are going to go into that direction. You know, it's just like you said, OS is just leading the way.
Right, and look how far, you know, they've come. Just this started in July, you know, and here we are in October, and we've made so much progress already. So you know, 3 years from now, who knows where we'll be?
That's major. Oh, I'm trying to, like, it's so new, people don't understand it. Like, this is like saying, like, how the colleges come and say, hey, we want y'all to be a Nike school or Under Armour school or Adidas school. Right. This is what happened right here.
Right. It's a big deal. And it's really cool. Really cool to have.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you, Trey, for being on here, man. Don't make it a habit not coming on here, man. You are a big part of this show, man. We might even get it when I can't make it. We might even get you to come over here and sit in this seat, man.
Hey, anytime we got to find a night of the week that we don't have a sporting event going on, because nothing's safe around here with athletics. Got something every night.
Every week, y'all are winning right now. We're still winning in football. Basketball's finna start. Golf right now. Girls volleyball is killing it right now. They just advanced last night, didn't they? What else was it? It's something always. Like, it's like you said, it's always something.
Swim just competed in South State this weekend.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then my daughter, she wants to be at all these events. So my dumb self didn't even get the athletic pass.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you. I was just about to mention that. You know, people don't know that you can buy an athletic sport pass for $25 as a student, and that, I mean,
I give her $25 every Friday when she go to the game, and that could have been her season pass.
Yeah, and if she had a pass, and you wouldn't have to give her any cash, then there's no cash for the concession stand.
So all she gotta do is just do it.
Just show the pass.
Always leading the way, man.
That's right.
What I'm talking about, man. Making it life easier on parents in this community.
We do what we can.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, man. That's why I say your hard work does not go unnoticed. I can like whenever I needed something, I'm like, hey, can you ask Trey? I be scared that. Can you ask Trey? Man?
Anytime.
And Coach be like, yeah, I asked him, man. Probably gonna get cussed out when I ask him, man.
No, that's because sometimes Coach will be like, hey, can you make this? Man, I need it like in like an hour. No, but you're good.
Oh man, I appreciate you, Trey, man. We're gonna make up, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
We're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back with Coach Brennan. We're gonna end things up. Well, that's a wrap up of another exciting episode of the Big Game Breakdown. And a huge thank you to our guest tonight, Sharroid Whitehead, for sharing his journey back from injury and now having a standout season as a junior in 7A football. And our communication director, Trey, Brennan, for giving us insight into how the Ocean Springs School District keeps the community connected. Coach, anything you would like to leave in any parting words?
I mean, you know, what y'all were talking about earlier was great. Talking about Sharroid's come back from injury and then his recruiting process, and then how all this stuff on social media gets out there and who does it and all that. And you know, you're talking about him being a big part of the program, and that's absolutely the truth, because you know, that's not what I'm good at. I'm not good at social media. I'm not good at making any type of graphics or being creative with any type of graphics or anything.
You got the two best people around you, right. Your wife Crystal and Trey.
That's right. I have access to getting things done, and they're really good at it. And Trey does great at his job and make sure that we're being promoted the correct way, and the look of it's good, and everything's first class with Ocean Springs football. So very appreciative for that. I'm glad we were able to spotlight them this week.
I forgot to tell Trey, man. man, thank you also for like how we collab. Like we didn't even mention how we collabed, man, on the media day. Like when I took the pictures and he do the graphics each and every week, man. Like that's a big deal we did. We got to do that again on something else. That was awesome, man.
But yeah, going, we talked about diberville already, but this week's going to be a good one, man. It's it's a 15-minute drive down the road. Usually, all of our non-region away games are hour and a half to 4 hours away. So this one's a little bit different. I mean, it's a lot outside of being in your own stadium. It feels like a home game to us. Instead of taking the bus to the church to eat, we're just going to take the bus over to diberville and play.
And the crowd, the Greyhound Nation gonna be trailing right behind.
Yeah, they always fill up, especially when we go to diberville's stadium. They'll fill up that side. It'll be crazy.
Got cousins and friends and coworkers.
That's right.
They want to go over there and brag.
That's right. That's right. Big bragging point this week.
Yeah, the excitement is in the air, and most definitely this is a critical point in the season. Like I said, we're back at 0-0, and every game matters. These games matter.
Yeah.
We need all Greyhound Nation to come out and support the team on the road.
Yes, very much. I mean, we play a lot better in front of our crowd, and then having that energy behind us, and they're always good at the right times. Those times you need that big stance on third down, or the times when the offense is moving and having the band back there. And man, it's a really good atmosphere, especially when we're close to Ocean Springs, and you don't have to go quite as far to play. But even, at the Oak Grove game, at the Natchez game, still filled up their side of the stadium, and so you expect even more whenever it's this close.
Yeah, like I said, if they ain't at the Pep on Fridays, you can guarantee they wherever the Greyhounds are playing.
That's right.
All right, so y'all make sure to follow us on all social media for all updates and highlights from the game. And don't forget to join us next week for more coverage and insight on the big game breakdown. Till then, I'm Seneca Hampton.
Jake Bramlett.
Signing out.